let's talk about Scotty. What has he meant to the club as he approaches his 300th final?
Oh, look, to the club, obviously he's been a really good servant, a loyal servant. You know, to the playing group and to the staff, obviously means a lot. You know, when you're a player and you kind of forge memories and make memories with someone in the dressing room over a long period. I think I don't even know how many years, but 5 or 6 years. And when you spend that amount of time together as a player, you form really strong bonds, almost like a brotherhood. And I know that the group will be really keen to send him out the right way. He means a lot to the players, obviously as a staff, even myself. I remember picking up Scotty Neville at the airport when I was a captain of Newcastle Jets, and him and James Brown, and showing them around Newcastle and trying to get them to fit in and settle as young players, you know, to a new state. And we travelled to training together for a few years there at Newcastle. Extremely hard-working guy, very loyal, and just a top quality person, along with a really good footballer. So, you know, to get to that milestone, I think it's a massive achievement, a massive effort. It's not easy to do, and you know, hopefully we can send him out the right way. And I think, you know, his time's come. His body's kind of letting him down a little bit at 36, but it's certainly not through a lack of effort and passion and putting his team first. So, yeah, he means a lot.
Yeah, no one plays 300 games unless they really know what they're doing and they're able to look after their body for over a long period of time. Is that something you've seen with Scotty?
Yeah, definitely. Look, he's you know, he's changed his game a little bit. I think that's also, you know, a credit to him. He's changed his game and adapted kind of the way he plays. He used to be a really fast and overlapping right fullback when I first met him in his young 20s, and he's kind of changed that into, you know, a ball playing centre back. And yeah, to watch the small part I had with him as a teammate, you know, there was the one constant was hard work. You knew you were going to get 100% commitment. I think he then went to Wanderers and then back to Perth and had success at both. And then to Brisbane, and the thing I've seen, the biggest change in him is probably just his level of professionalism and how well he looks after himself. So he sets a really good example for some of our younger players that want to have you know, a long career in the game. He kind of sets a really good benchmark of how to prepare and how to look after yourself. But yeah, look, we're really proud of his achievement to get to 300. He's obviously sitting on 299, so hopefully he plays a part. But we also want to make sure we win, and I'm sure Scotty would be the first to say that the result's the most important thing tomorrow night.
He mentioned to me that it's a full circle moment for him playing the Wanderers in his last game. It'd be nice to send him out with a win though, wouldn't it?
Oh, for sure. Look, you know, we're not going to shy away from that. It'd be nice for us to go back to back, to be honest. You know, we've had a lot of strong performances as a team, you know, throughout these first, you know, 13 games or so, and haven't really been rewarded at times for some of the good football we've played. But last week I thought we played really well, and was nice to see the boys get their reward. For us to go back to back, especially at home in front of our fans, is a big moment. And obviously, you know, Scotty's last game gives us that little bit of added incentive.
Yeah, you must get a lot of confidence from that Sydney FC performance, because they're not an easy team to beat at any stage, let alone in Sydney, let alone for a side out and won a game this season. So that's a great result, isn't it?
Yeah, look, I think it's a statement win. It's a statement, you know, to try and back up. It's some actions to try and back up some of the feelings and the belief that I've drawn in other performances. I've stood here in front of the camera in some pretty difficult times and tried to explain how together our group is. I'm sure you can hear it now when Scotty's getting interviewed and the boys are behind the glass taking the piss. We're a really together group, players, staff, management, a lot of great people in admin staff that work really hard for this club, even in a really difficult period. And we know what we're creating, we know what we're building towards. Last week was a really small step in the right direction. We want to gather that momentum and go back to back tomorrow night.
Is having a week off a hindrance, or is it good to freshen it up?
Look, we'll wait and see. Time will tell on that one for sure. But you know, obviously we want to keep the momentum going. It's nice to be able to get some training into the boys as well, and you know, really draw on what was positive about the last performance and still some areas that we need to improve. I still feel like we're very early on in kind of where this team and this squad's at in our development. I feel like it's been a lot of changes in the off-season, definitely a checkered pre-season for us, and obviously the budget cuts and the financial constraints have put a real squeeze on us, which has kind of left us where we are. but I feel like we've also made a lot of positive steps and a lot of progress to get to this point. And I don't think that our improvements, at its peak yet. I still feel like there's a lot of growth in this group.